So quick why, and my name is Cara Adams. I'm the Director of Community Engagement, pronoun she, her, is in getting involved in clubs, organizations, undergraduate research, the Environmental Education and Research Center. We hope that you discover your passions and talents, that you try something new, that you try something and maybe you don't like it, and now's the time to experiment. You try something and you love it. So getting involved in these different opportunities really helps you discover what you love, your talents. With your talents, we hope that it also helps you with career and vocation discernment, thinking about what major you want to pursue, what career you want to pursue, as you might join a business club to explore that. A lot of these opportunities also lead to scholarships and awards. So writing these in your resume that you did research with the faculty, saying you did a community project, leads to money for postgraduate or for your current time being a student. Same with graduate school. A lot of graduate school programs want to see your involvement as an undergrad student with your university in these programs that you're hearing from about today. And then we also hope that empowers your sense of confidence, sense of self, sense of belonging, as we just heard from C team, that all of these, we want you to have a self-well-being, and we want to care for you as a whole student. So this is just a quick step back of why we want you to get engaged in these programs that you're hearing from today. Next is also a new office called the Office of Connected Learning, which is an umbrella office that houses some of these opportunities for students. So you heard from Lily from Environmental Education and Research Center. I'm next going to launch into community-based learning and research. You're also going to hear from Jay on research and creative projects, and also from global initiatives. We also have the collaboratory, which is presenting another day. But these are a new cluster. These have been existing offices on campus, but now clustered together to work together to support students and opportunities for you. So I'm going to stop sharing to just jump to, so I'm going to share about community-based learning and research, or the acronym CBLR. These are courses that you enroll in at UW-Bothell, in which you're engaged with the community projects, community research projects, direct service, through your curriculum, so through the courses that you're taking. These are pictures of students that are off-site. They might be on-site engaged with a community partner, students at the Pacific Science Center, students doing kayak cleanup with bodies of water, students touring downtown Seattle for urban geography class. So these are examples where students are engaged in mutually beneficial projects with community partners as they apply the theory that they're learning in the class to the practice that they're engaged with these external companies, industry, nonprofits, school districts, a lot of different community spaces. So I'm going to share a couple examples of what this might look like in a class that you're going to take or could take. This is an education class at the 200 level called Education and Society, and specifically thinking about the Education and Society meta major. Students enrolled in this class are asked to, throughout the quarter for 20 hours, engage in an educational space. And this might be a K through 12 school, an elementary class, or it could be a nonprofit, thinking of the Pacific Science Center, for example, in which you're engaged in education curriculum or delivering educational materials. And you'll learn about curriculum design, education theory through being engaged in these opportunities outside of your class, and then reflect back in your writing and assignments about what you're learning and connections that you're making. Another example is this critical media literacy class in the School of Interdisciplinary Arts and Sciences, where students also are more media communication students that they're working with North Shore School District Department of Education and Racial Justice that has a conference for all of their high school students on race in spring, and then our UW-Bothell students create presentations about media representation and pitch this to the district staff, and some of them are selected to present their workshops in front of high school students. So you see, it's a great learning opportunity for our UW-Bothell students to reflect on their content in this critical media literacy class while they actually have a public audience of high school students that they get to educate as well at the end of their class. A couple student stories that we like to share. This is Kalia Wilson, who's actually a community psychology and educational studies major, but did graduate in 2017. She took 3 courses of community-based learning and research while she was a student here. The first was a community psychology class in which she worked with a human women's rights and reproductive health organization for their doing outreach and connecting her community psychology theory to her work there. Then she took an applied experience educational class in which she worked with Voyager Middle School up in the Mariner neighborhood through their mentorship program. And she mentored for 2 quarters a group of students that were thinking of already at the middle school level, kind of their high school career college discernment. And then she also took a food justice advanced seminar course in which she worked with Community Alliance for Global Justice and looked at their food curriculum and from a justice perspective and delivered some of the work from that organization. So you can see the range of different community-based learning and research courses she took. She applied for grad school at Seattle University in their education specialist degree. She was very interested in being a school psychologist and had this intention through her dual degree in community psychology and educational studies. And now she is working with the Edmonds School District as a school psychologist. And she drew upon her experiences through CBLR for her grad school application, and even in her interviews post-grad school of what was real world experience that she had that she could speak to. And so this is an incredible story of her weaving her community-based learning and research towards her discernment, towards grad school and her career and staying in the local region. The next student story is Sue Common-Kerr, who's actually a UW-Bothell staff member now, and she also graduated in 2017 from health studies. She did a couple different things that we are talking about here today. She took a couple community-based learning and research courses. She took the Mapping Communities course, which is an interdisciplinary arts and sciences course, and a scientific journey course as well, in which she worked with different community partners in both of those courses. Her additional involvement include being engaged in student organizations that did civic engagement and planned volunteer and civic engagement events for students. She did study abroad in Guatemala. She was also a Husky 100 student, both benefited from applying for that process and getting the One Husky 100 award. And then she was on the Community Engagement Council as a student representative leadership voice. So she did a lot of these involvements that supported her vocational, both her graduate degree and her additional work. She worked for a couple years with Fred Hutch Cancer Research Center, applying her work that she learned through her fieldwork course through health studies. And then she got her Master's of Public Administration at Seattle University. And then we're lucky to have her back here working for the School of Nursing and Health Studies. And now she works with students, placing them and doing partnership development for their fieldwork course. So that's another great story of a student utilizing their community-based learning research and other opportunities that they engaged in on campus towards their future trajectory. Lily mentioned this earlier, register now. There's these for first year students, these 2 courses coming up in spring, and registration is open. They're the BCUSP 199, and there's 2 different focus areas. The first one is health and wellness. And actually Sue Common is one of the instructors for that you'll work with health based partners or community health organizations. And then the environment and sustainability is the one that Lily, the Environmental Education Research Center program manager, mentioned, and will be co-teaching, and students will be engaged in different environmental community projects. So these are a great way to just start at kind of the entry level, thinking about getting engaged in these community-based learning and research projects as your first year student. Where you can find these as you're registering throughout the rest of your time at UW-Bothell, it's actually kind of tricky to find in the registrar when you're searching for these. So on the CBLR website, which is under current students, and you go to community-based learning and research, and you go to CBLR courses is the top tab. We will keep this updated. Right now we have our winter 2022 courses. We will have spring just in a few days posted, where we post which courses and if they're a project-based course or a placement-based course, which means in project-based, you'll be engaged in a project with a partner, and you may not do any work outside of the class. It might be all within the class. Placement-based is more you going to the site of the project, of the partner organization, often in a different place than UW Bothell, but we also have some placement-based projects at UW Bothell, such as work in the wetlands or partners that are on campus. So that's where to find these courses when you're registering for courses. Where to find us physically on campus. So the whole Connected Learning office is located in the Truly House in the upper campus by the new parking garage that's up the hill. And so this is one of the historical houses that still exists on the land that the UW Bothell campus occupies. And our staff are in this office, and we welcome you to come up and see us. So that is all that I have for community-based learning research, and look forward to seeing you virtually and also on campus this year and coming years.